actually in that space, they send those feelings and emotions forward. They will bring them up because they're wanting to connect with either what we're going through to mirror it back to us, or to help us understand that it's them. But spirits aren't egoic, and so they're not in a place of anger or fear or sadness. They're not up and about and having these in the heavens, having the blues. That's not part of the spirit dynamic that I understand. So if they're representing those feelings through a reading, it's usually so that you can understand that it's them and that they hold space for the feelings that you're in. But to say that they're up there, up there, that's not even up there. I just use that term because that's what we all use. But to say that they're in the spirit world in any stage of grief would be us projecting our emotions onto the spirit world. Projecting our feelings. Are egoic traits? They only show those traits if it represents a version of them that you understand on the earth plane, and that's how you know it's them. But they're not like stuck in grief. They're not stuck in sadness. They understand that we are, and so they'll bring those feelings up to hold space for us, but they're not trapped in those feelings. So I hope that gives you something to consider, Miranda. I don't know the reading that you got or what information was brought through for you, but every medium that I know who does readings knows that's been a universal detail that we've all been able to become aware of in the spirit world, that these are very much feelings that usually the reader is either over projecting onto the information that spirit's bringing through, or misunderstanding the message that this loved one's bringing through if they say they're sitting there grieving in that moment. You may have seen them in grief, or they may be acknowledging your grief, but they're not by any means. There's such peace when we leave the body behind, but they hold space for our grief. And they love us, and they know it's hard. And if they don't come through as clear or strong, one, as a reader, I could be tired, exhausted, and I'm not picking up on the connection. I'll take it first, right? First and foremost, maybe I'm just not picking up more details than that. And that can happen for whatever reason. Or two, if someone else is with me and I've noticed a lot of emotion or grief for them, it can be hard for them to try to validate the evidence because the emotions are still so raw. So it can be hard for them to validate, because when you're in an emotional state and if someone starts asking you 50 questions, it can be just hard to fill in those gaps. So then it's hard to build that power to continue the reading. But you can still have tears, and you can still be sad, and you can have joy and all that too, and a reading can still happen. It's just if it's deep grief, I just always say hold tight before you get a reading, so that when that evidence comes through, you're able to understand what's grape juice, or what's this song, or what's this, because in the moment you just may not be able to sort it, and that's okay. Take care of yourself first. Spirit will wait. They're not going to go away and not be around you because in that moment you weren't able to validate it. But just take care of yourself first. That's what your loved ones want. They care about you guys. So I hope that helped. I am the mama bear. Rebecca, you're right. Rawr. Rawr. Good morning, SC Mama. How are you? What is it? Okay, so you got the 3, so I think I got it, you guys. I can't rely on my doctor, so I treat myself most of the time. True story. Oh, I mean, honestly, Sandra, I'm not going to agree or disagree with you on that, but I completely understand what you're saying. So understand. Hoping to hear from a loved one. Absolutely. It doesn't matter. Oh, hi, Lorenda's in the room. Good morning, Lorenda. Hi, my love. It doesn't matter why you start doing it. It's the results of helping and healing. It's beautiful. Good morning. Good morning. I love that. Thank you so much. You're welcome, Sandra. Going holistic, exactly. Yeah, same for me. Okay. Oh, am I 99 behind? Okay, you guys, I've got to do the roll up because I get in trouble for this. I'm going to roll up, and if there's a comment that you want me to consider, put in asterisks. We just get a couple more minutes, and then I've got to get to work. I've got to work on these reviews. So I love you guys. I've rolled up. I'm going to grab the last comment. If there's something you want to restate, please go ahead. I'm learning. My mods are like, Hannah, otherwise you're answering a question that everybody's already answered in the comments. So here we go. Good morning, K22 Mama Bear. I have seen so many people say they are a real medium and psychic, but I've yet to see one say something I only know. Interesting. All I can say, be skeptical. and be discerning and just have an open heart and hold space. And again, it's how it feels. That's how I say, like, someone could give me all the evidence in the world. But for me, the way I know is that it comes right, Kat, 2 hours later. I know, girl, y'all have trained me. You're training me good. You're training me good. But I can say it's a feeling space for me. That's how I feel loved ones. That's how I feel spirit. So I say if you really want to consider, if you all like to meditate, if you all like to journal, if this is something you like to do on your own, right? Preparing your heart for your loved ones, preparing your heart for a reading may help balance your skepticism, because you need to be skeptical. Oh my gosh, and you need to be discerning. But doing self-care things that help you pick up the subtleties yourself can help you kind of feel that energetic shift when your loved one's around. I think everyone can do it. I think we're all spirit, so we could all feel spirit. Then if you're getting a message or you're watching or reading, you're feeling a loved one, then you know. And your critical mind should step in, but it just shouldn't step on what spirit's bringing through. And the only way you can do that is if you balance it with your emotional intelligence. They have to balance. Too far one way or too far the other way, I think it makes it hard to align with the message from spirit. And spirits aren't here to perform for us. They're not here to make us believe. They don't do that. They're not, again, because they're not egoic, right?Ey're not in their ego. They're not here to sell us anything. But what they will do is hold space for us. What they will do is bring through messages that are helpful and healing. And it's just up to us if we want to take it. They're not attached to whether we take it. They're not like, well, that was a waste of my time. Sherry didn't have the experience, the response that I wanted. Darn it. They just go like this and they put it out there. That's it. They just don't have attachment to it. And it's beautiful, right? And some folks grab it and they hug it, and other folks make it like, and that's okay. They're not attached to, but they hold space for us. It's really neat. I'm lost. I'm hoping, and Crystal, I'm sending you so much love. I'm hoping that while you're feeling lost, that you can do self-care. The first sign to needing self-care can be feeling lost. So the first way to kind of break out of feeling lost can be starting to do little things that are self-care for yourself. The littlest things. It starts to build you back up so you can find your way. And again, a therapy is a great tool. Having I want to say a peer group, if you can find and connect with. Sometimes volunteering if you have the time or energy, that can be helpful and cathartic to helping to find yourself, if you feel like that. Because what I'm lost is usually means I'm not making my self-care a priority. So I have found, that's it. And I'm not a therapist, and I'm not giving you some universal advice to follow. I honestly want to say you go to a trained counselor first for any advice on this in a medical community. There's going to be something going on biochemically with us that we need help with. But I have found that when I feel the most lost, it's usually because I'm lacking some type of self-care. So doing those little steps helps rebuild. It's usually multiple factors, but that can be a step towards it. So I hope that helps. It's just a little nugget of advice that I could give you to consider. I'm so glad, Keisha Berry. I'm so glad you're here too. Good morning, Biz. Good morning. Okay. So again, it's supposed to be someone new, and it's okay. And it's Z. I'm just going to help you, Z Dixie girl. So the way it works when we're on these lives is I just say, please don't give any personal details about your loved one. Because if I started having details about a loved one coming through, and I was able to say grandson or father or whatever, that's key evidence that if you say it, it's no longer evidence. It's me reading you. So I would say, if you watch these lives or you follow this chat or you follow this room, I want no details about your loved one. You just say loved one. And if I'm doing readings and have information coming through, I share it. And then I say grandson, and you get up out of your chair because you're like, wow, there's no way you could have known that. I'm like, exactly. But your loved one said it, and that's how I know it. And it's amazing validation. So that's why, again, it's not trying to control your comments, and it keeps the scammers from knowing information. But it's because, again, I know as a medium the type of details loved ones have to bring through, and I just don't want anything from you because I don't want to read you. I want to read them, because that's how cool spirit is. Is your family still with you? Always? Always. And that sounds so generic. I know Nick Merriman, that sounds so generic, but it's just not. Because again, we're energy. And if I can feel them around, they're around. They're around you. And if you watch readings and you watch the loved ones come through, it's proof beyond a shadow of a doubt, in my opinion. But I get, again, this healthy skepticism is still a good thing. They are around and they love us, but they're not always interacting with us in the way that we want them to, because we either A, don't pick up on it, or B, because we have other things we need to do, and them coming in and inserting themselves into the conversation of that moment would distract us from whatever it is we're supposed to be doing in the earth plane. And sometimes it's sad stuff, sometimes it's happy stuff. Sometimes, and then they'll send us the little signs, that whatever's going on around us. I trust spirit, that they insert themselves and try to catch our attention, but their feelings aren't hurt if we don't see them. They're not like, how dare you? I sent you like 10 signs. You didn't see this. They don't do that. But they will send little signs. And so just watching for them, but also understanding, hey, if you're not interacting with them right now, it's probably a reason. I think so many of us that are gifted will try to push it away, but you really can't. Yeah, that's interesting. I feel like we all can connect with spirit. Just some of us can be more sensitive to spirit, so I hear what you're saying. But you can set up really good boundaries to where they leave you alone. I didn't think I could either. I have to tell you, Dana Willie Woo was a great, and Megan, Elisa, Matthew Tao, great mediums who I feel like really helped me understand the boundaries of spirit world and working with spirits in general. And it's just like boundaries with everyday people. And then when I learned to have healthy boundaries with folks in the physical world and in the spirit world, I could really see that I can 100% tell the spirit world, like Dana says, closed sign, go wait in the waiting room. But because I like your loved ones to prompt me, I actually like your loved ones tapping me on the shoulder going, hey, let's do readings. I do set up space for them to do that. But if there's times like I need sleep, that was a big one. I didn't realize sleep was important, and I was letting them rob me of sleep. Then the minute I was like, no more. You don't get to wake me up anymore. You wake me up, I'm going to tell you like I would, a fly. I'm going to swat you away and tell you to go away. And I don't get bothered anymore. I sleep like a baby. So I think it's important for us just to have those, those little subtle boundaries. Oh, I lost the comments again. Okay, you guys, so feel free to put asterisks. Sorry, put an asterisk in and I'll try to get to your comment. I'm going to give about 10 more minutes, I'd say, with chitty chatty. And then I really got to do these reviews. When are we going to take the pictures? Yeah, are we going to do it dusk, dawn? Because it's going to rain. So you got to go sooner than later.
Do you think we could do tomorrow? Yes.
We have everything on tomorrow's plate. We have to do it today. And it's going to rain. Sorry, sometime.
Okay, we're going to...
Mama first.
We're going to need to do it before noon.
Okay. I'll do this and I'll wrap up and we'll do that.
Okay, yeah. Because I was going to...
Be careful because there's people who can hear our conversation.
That's fine.
Okay.
That's fine. I was going to go...
Sorry, 1 second.
I was going to go afterwards because we didn't do the cover bar yesterday. We were going to go to lunch and then...
Oh, nice.
And then, we're going to do the cover bar.
I'm so glad to hear that. By the way, you're glowing. What are you doing right now? This should be your photo. You're just glowing. That should be your photo shoot. Well, that's where we should do it then. All right, I love you.
Yeah.
Okay, then just when you're ready, grab me.
Okay.
I love my kiddos. Can I just tell you? Best kiddos in the world. I love these children. I love them. I eat them up. They're the bestest. And I love you all. Oh, was there ever a point where you strongly believed in earthbound? Oh, yeah. Earthbound spirits, and that something changed your mind. Okay. I did. I can tell you, when I was fearful, I had to unlearn, but I understand now. I learned in a religious-based belief system about the spirit world. That's where my beliefs started, right? That's a lot of our introduction. And I didn't realize how much of those beliefs were fear-based, it made me incredibly fearful of the spirit world. And I'm fearful of their interactions, and I'm fearful. And again, we fear what we don't know. And then as I was able to grow and develop and learn about mediumship and be greater educated in how spirits connect with us and the way that they interact, I started to recognize where my belief system was kind of getting in the way of me understanding what the Spirit was trying to bring through. And it really lifted that burden off of my shoulders. And then I was able to see things for what they were, then rather than what I was interpreting them to be. And that lifted my belief about earthbound spirits. Because I used to believe, okay, haunted doll or something's trapped or they're trapped in this room. I totally thought that. And again, I'm not this as a medium and growing and learning. We're all developing, and there'll be something I believe right now, and I come back in a week and I go, oh, wow, I was off on that. It's because we're just trying to understand to the best of our physical abilities what we're being shown. But it's really neat to have that burden lifted off, that was just a misinterpretation of spirits just trying to get our attention, and they can come and go as they please. And because we choose to interact with them, we'll bring a spirit through. And then it's up to us to understand that we are the conduit bringing them through, and they can come and go if they want. And if they want to go, they go. If they want to stay, they stay. They have free will just like we have. But there's intelligence to the spirit world that we, for some reason, try to dismiss. And I'm not sure why we do that. I haven't figured out that. And that we try to project that onto the spirit world. And then we easily label it as, you're stuck, they're trapped. No. Same, I shut it down when I was little because I was raised to believe it was something it wasn't. Right, exactly, right? Fear first because it protects you, because it saves you. I understand the reason we go to fear, right? It's going to keep you safe from something scary. And also fear is a great controller. It's a great way to control people. And so if you're in a situation where, that's one of the things that are used to control us. Is there a heaven or hell, or is there something else? That is such a beautiful question. Let's just look at I think something to do some deep diving is where heaven and hell came from. Why would a belief system want you to believe in heaven and hell? What purpose would that serve? If you deep dive in that a little bit, then you can understand where it came from. Then you can then unpack why believing it or not believing it would serve you. I keep it light because there's some great creators on here who've called it out all the way back to the Bible, and again, I don't want I don't want to ever have anyone think I'm poo-pooing on their religious beliefs, because I think there's always a starting point and there's things you can extract that are super helpful. But if you think about how heaven and hell is designed to make you fearful and to control you and manipulate you, and you look into that a little bit, and then you look into Judaism and where the word hell actually was derived from, and then you go into Greek mythology. If you want to do any deep diving and digging like that, you can find out pretty quickly that heaven and hell were designed to control the masses and to keep you in line and to be fearful so that you would live a life that was prudent to a belief system's plan, model, design. No one here will tell you what to believe exactly. Use your own discernment. Thank you. All are welcome here. Exactly. Because I would never change the way I was raised or what I was taught, because I wouldn't be here. And again, the things that we consider negative aren't negative if they help me come back around to understand a greater message. They suck sometimes, but that doesn't make them, they're just a necessary part of learning, right? The hardships. You fall down, you hit your knee, you learn how to walk. We don't float around on pillows. So sometimes we gotta have things hit us. Good morning, Kim and me. Good morning. Kimmy's in the house. Good morning. Hope you're doing well. Kimmy, I have a text for you. I've got some things for you. Just so you know. I got. Always good to see you in the morning. Your energy is amazing and joyful. Love it. Buffy, good morning. Thank you. Donna, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Okay, have I caught up, you guys? Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. It's so kind of you. Thank you, San Francisco Magic, SF Magic. I hope it just gives folks something to consider. And like I say, take what resonates, let go what doesn't. If I can help fill in some gaps for you, yes. Kimmy, yes. Kimmy, yes. I'm excited. So I hope this just fills in some gaps, but I don't want to be the basis of all the information. You should never have one creator ever, or one teacher, or one belief system be the only way you extract information. Can I just tell you, discernment comes like a buffet. multiple sources, multiple ways. Pull it all together, bring it all in. And that, what resonates with you, that, what makes sense, that, the way that you keep being pulled, follow it. That's where your peace lies. Go with that. But never just trust one person, because that's how you end up in a belief system that can end up getting toxic really quick, and you didn't even realize it, because you were allowing somebody to just feed you information, and the discernment went aside. Like, oh, well, because they said it, it must be true. Because they're quoting it, it must be true. Well, they may have some ulterior motive in there that you just don't know about, and they may not even be aware of. And then they plant that in there, and it can just get messy. So just, even what I say, I want you to be like, okay, that's interesting. Okay, I can see that. Oh, I don't know if I believe that. Oh, okay. And it creates a dialogue, right? How do we open up to understanding and hearing the spirit? I mean, I love circles. I know Nat A and Neil 10. I have to tell you, I love circles with folks and other mediums that I can trust. That's a safe space, safe from judgment. Not safe because something's going to attack you, but I have to tell you, that's either I said a prayer, I get a journal in the twilight hours by myself before I go to bed, or right as I'm waking up, and I spend time just sitting with spirit and communing a little bit in nature. That's a great way. And if I just start to open up and do some writing, and I can feel the energy shift around me, that's what I can do by myself. But I still also love going to a good circle, because that can help me have discernment of what's my mental mind and what's spirit. So just finding a really great circle or group that you can work with. I've mentioned a few on this app, but I really, really encourage you to find a quality circle that can help you, and having a great teacher who can help guide you through the process. I definitely don't feel like I'm equipped to do that for people, but I know that going to one regularly helped me strengthen that muscle. And no matter how far along you are in your development, always being able to have a community that can keep you grounded, keep you in check, and you can plug into and help refine you is priceless. And now with the internet and Zoom rooms, there's so much of that as an option for folks. That would be what I would consider. Thank you. I felt bad that my mom wasn't coming forward. She did have severe depression in life. There you go. Oh, Miranda, I'm so glad. Yes. Love this. It's healthy to have skepticism always about your readers, mentors, and circles. Exactly. Just because someone's offering a circle doesn't mean it's going to be the most prudent for you. You go in, you check it out, and if it doesn't resonate, you bounce. You bounce. I don't care what their credentials are or aren't. If you're in there and you're like, nope, doesn't work for me. Great. That, whatever you spent on that little circle, hopefully you should get to go to one to just vet them. Somebody shouldn't require you to go to like 12 circles, or you have to buy it that way. That you can go to one and sit in and see if you feel like this is working for you. But if something is off, trust your intuition, trust your gut. And I would say even go to multiple at first to make sure you land where you want to land. But I'm so glad, Miranda, for you to recognize that and be able to share that with you and give you something to consider. Things come through as details to let us know that it's them, without it actually being that they're sitting in a place of depression. All of those, anxiety, depression, those are physical symptoms that we have being in a physical body. Good morning. How did I do, guys? I did too. It was all fear-based. Thank you for this community. I stepped out of fear. Right, April? It feels so much lighter. It feels so much lighter. And I want to tell you, I still hold on to some of the morals and ethics that I learned in the spiritual system that I grew up in. There's some great nuggets in there. Look, that's what drew me in. So I still hold on to those. But it's nice to not be, for me to feel the weight and the burden of fear that was holding me down and holding me back and making me feel heavy in a way I just didn't need to. So it was really nice to lift that off. Feels good. Thank you, heavens. Thank you for that. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. I'll take it. To me, it's about a relationship, not a religion, and I just enjoy that now. Same, I shut it down when I was little because I was raised to believe it was something it was. Right, Kat? So true. There's no manual for communicating. Exactly. You guys are so good at this. Is there a heaven and hell? Right. Is there something else? I think I caught up to that, right? So for me, I don't believe in, and I have a video on this somewhere in there. I think it's in, I know it's in my something, it could be, if I have a video, I have playlists. It might be under the playlist, something to consider. Is there a heaven or hell? I actually answered the question. But so for myself, I 100% do not personally believe in the restraints of a heaven and hell as it was interpreted to me once I unpacked it. But it's something for you to consider and look up. But again, go back to the source. Look at where it came from. Look at why it was presented to you, and then that can help you understand why that would be created for you to explore what was the motive behind being taught that, and then you can unpack it for yourself. Something. Okay, I'm scrolling all the way up. I love you guys. I'm scrolling up because it's added lots of messages. And if there's anything with asterisks, otherwise, that's how I found several wonderful people. Oh, yay. Such as yourself in April. You guys, good morning. Good morning. I love one, please. I think I did good. I think I got you guys right. Yes, thank you. Oh, thank you, Dilly Dally, because my brain was not bringing it up. But I love it. If you look at the mods, they have great resources available for you. There's so many. Oak Ridge Bridge Institute, Dana and Matt's Circle. I highly recommend. Those are the two right now that I feel like are super helpful. Why do you draw when you are in a conversation with spirit that comes through? Oh, great question. That's a wonderful question. So doing that, as you see, I talk with my hands. The energy that's building up around, I like to stem. That's what they call that, right? The flicking of the fingers. For me, the tapping. I used to do a lot of tapping during the readings. It helps me channel that energy and kind of get you in the zone. It's kind of like this. Like if you were to ever watch, this is me, if you ever watch the washer or dryer, and it just kind of spins and it kind of helps you kind of zone. It helps you kind of just hold space and zone. And then if I get a detail, I can write that detail down so that if one, I want that detail. If one, I think there's more to that detail coming through, I want to make sure I kind of pin it to see if there's more that they're going to elaborate on. I'll know what they're saying when they're bringing things through, because things that come through are kind of broken, right? And it's kind of choppy. And so sometimes writing this down kind of helps me see the bigger pictures, so that's why sometimes I write words. But it's really cathartic to do that, which makes sense because spirits come through when I'm washing dishes. They'll come through, or I'm vacuuming. There's something about that repetitive motion that kind of gets you to stay in that space, because what we're doing is holding space for spirit. And that just kind of helps you hold that space. It's interesting. It's such an interesting process to give it a try. And just because you do it doesn't mean that that's going to bring the spirit through for you, or someone doing it is channeling spirit. Some people I've seen do it as an interesting tactic, and it doesn't necessarily work for them that way. So doing what works for you, you can try it, but don't just assume if someone's doing this that they have a spirit. The evidence is the key. Go ahead and repin the comment that was up for a second if you'd like. I can respond to it. Is there a distance in the spirit world? How do loved ones move one place to another? Is it quick? Great question. Is there a distance in the spirit world? There's not. We just say that so that we say heavens as a way to try to acknowledge them, not that they have. But it's so, I'm saying, the distance between your loved ones and you is as thin as this curtain. It is so thin, and because they're literally right there, right around us. But it's just, I think it's more of like a universal language to say heavens, right? Because that's, again, the reference point. Where does that come from? From churches and belief systems and religious beliefs. And so when you say that, it's a universal term to try to explain the spirit realm. But if you want to be honest, it's just like, they're right there. They're right there. And it's pretty cool. How do loved ones move one place to another? Their energy. So just like the sun, we're all feeling the sun right now. Same type of energy. It's just energy. That's all. And sometimes it's brighter than others. I just feel it. Like I will feel your loved one stronger than others. And I think it's just like right now the sun on me brighter than other times. Why are all these healers popping up in my FYP? Rabbit hole, TikTok's trying to find the algorithm that works for you. So if there's something that you don't like, try to put other key terms in your feed to try to pull you out. But if you're following lives or you're popping on lives like this, TikTok's trying to figure you out, ticky-tacky, and go, oh, this is what she likes. And they're sending it to you. Hi, my friends. Hi, everyone. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. From my experience, great circles. There are more. Matt and Dana, Oak Ridge Institute. That's where I can bow to. Yes, thank you, Kimmy. Thank you. Did I get you guys? Good morning. Good morning. Do people that, this is such a great question. Thank you. Unalive themselves get to heaven? As a Catholic, I was told they didn't. I know. I was told that too. That's one of the biggest fear-based beliefs that I hope to demystify, because I was told the same thing. And I've had loved ones who have done exactly that. And I was so sad and scared. And it's a sad thing to tell someone. Because they're okay. And if I look at why, as a culture, it makes sense to give people a fear from unaliving themselves, because you want somebody to stay here and do the work. So I understand the methodology from telling somebody that. I understand the reasoning to tell someone that, right? It's like telling, thank you. Yes, I'll answer that question too, Christy. Thank you. Thank you. But just remember that that is used as a manipulation tactic to get you to not want to participate in that behavior. If I make you scared of it, you won't do it, right? Fear is a powerful motivator. But here's what I want to say, why you don't want to unalive yourself is because no matter how hard Earth is, you don't get out of the lessons that you're supposed to learn here if you leave this planet. We still have to learn the lessons. And I know sometimes it's too much and it's too hard and it's awful. And don't get me wrong, I'm in the middle of this journey right now of helping family member and our friends through this. And I've been through the place of wanting to leave this earth plane. But I can tell you, from those of us who've come out on the other side, we're really glad we didn't do it. And we're really glad that we held tight. And even my family member and our friend has said that. Like, I'm really glad I stuck out this journey. And souls that come through that have unalived themselves, sometimes they've even said, that didn't resolve anything for me. But they're not being punished. They are not in some eternal damnation because of the choice they made here in the earth plane. We're here to learn, and we're going to mess up, and we're going to make mistakes. It's going to happen. And some things are going to happen that, it just does. But they're not going to be forever burning out. Spirit's so much more gracious than that, so much more loving, so much more understanding. But just don't get out of the lessons you need to learn. So, I hope that gives you something to consider. All right, there was another question. How do spirits find you or recognize that you can communicate with them? I think they all, good question. How do spirits, because we can all pick up on them. We can all sense them in some way. Just some of us tend to recognize them more. And the more you recognize them, right? I feel like then the more they're like, oh, hey, you recognize me. Just like a person, the acknowledgement of them kind of brings them through more to connect with you. And then you study and learn how to do that in a way that you are understanding their communication. Because you're going to have to learn a new language. Spirit speaks in pictures. Spirit speaks in feelings. So if you're a picture kind of seeing, feeling kind of person, and you kind of have the imagination, the creation in your mind, you're able to kind of work with that a little bit. Spirit uses, that's how they use to communicate. Those are the tools they use. So if you develop those tools, you'll be able to connect with them more. And I think they recognize that. And your intentions, right? We put that out there. We set these intentions. And the same intentions can be, go away. I don't want to connect. And Spirit will set, if you're setting actual healthy boundaries, if you're not just saying, well, I tell them to go away and they keep coming back. You might be playing cat and mouse with Spirit. Go away, go away. And you may, because if you set full, firm boundaries, the spirit world will respect them. But it's about having that firmness of boundaries if you really want to. And the same thing if you want to open back up. Now it's going to take time and a process. You'll be able to start recognizing them and open back up to them. Go ahead and repin that comment if you'd like. That makes sense. Thank you. I scribble, but actually writing details down, right, puts me in my active mind. It's true. Kat, I have to do that fine line. I've got to be able to pull out of my active mind and go back into spirit. But sometimes too, what I'll do is I'll write it down because I'm like, that's generic. You got to give me more in that. Like, I'm like acknowledging, I'm having this private conversation with Spirit while I'm doing reading. I'm like, okay, I will write down apple, but that is generic. You got to give me more than that. And then Spirit goes, I said apple 3 times. You tell the sitter apple. And I'm like, okay, apple. And then it goes, pew, 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 pew. So that's how I work with Spirit. I wasn't confused or scared of death until my dad passed. I'm not even sure what I believe anymore. It can be, right? But that could be exactly the surrendering soldiers, Angel 3. That could be the surrendering that needs to happen, is that no matter how many explanations there are, no matter how many different ways we all perceive passing over and leaving this planet, the truth is we're all just going to do it. It's going to happen. We're all going to cross over. And so it's just about you exploring your journey. Oh, see, Kimmy said it too. Always question things and seek your own answers. Beautiful, Kimmy. So it's good to just be open and consider things. But at the end of the day, just know that finding peace, that it is a very natural thing that happens. We are all naturally born, we all naturally pass, and then we're spirit beings in a physical body, and our spirit lives on. And as much as I can do to prove the evidence of spirit beyond the physical realm and demystify the spirit world, that's why I'm here. But we all have to kind of seek our own information, like Kimmy said. I love you guys. Did I get everybody? We can pin a question if you want, and then I'm going to wrap up. It's 8 o'clock here. This is my last question. If you want to pin it, this is my last question. Have you done something kind? Yes, that was it. Dilly Dally knew. Dilly Dally knew the whole reason I came on this live. I love you. The game I was going to play. But I've got to wrap up, so I love it. Spirit maybe like, hey, we'll play a game to get Hannah to come on the live, but actually there's a conversation that needed to be had this morning. Please tell me what you do for yourself. I want to know. This is my question to you guys. I answered yours, now answer mine. What's something kind you do for yourself? What is something that you do for yourself, no one else, that you enjoy, no matter how big or how small? What's something kind you do for yourself? And if you could put that in the comments, I would love it. I'm going to scroll up. I'm going to do the little like roll, roll, roll. Can you tell me what you do for yourself? Whether the littlest things, I just want to know. Because what you do, someone else may be having a hard day, and they can look at your comment and go, oh, I could do that. Because sometimes it's hard to get out of bed. Sometimes folks are in an active state of grief, and it can be hard to but the littlest thing can mean a lot. And so what do you do? Whatever it is that brings you joy. Can you share that in the comments right now? And can we read it? Even if I don't read it out loud, can you read each other's comments? Can we see how we hold space and do something kind? And if you don't do anything, read other folks' comments and decide. Maybe you could pick up just one. Maybe you could pick up one comment, and it could start a day of being kind to yourself. Because the truth is, if you're waiting for other people to be kind to you until you start being kind to yourself, when you start being kind to yourself, that sets the intention out there for the universe to greet you with the energy that you're greeting the universe with. Do something kind for yourself. Coming from yourself, through yourself, first and foremost, because then it allows you to do something kind for others. But you got to take care of yourself first. And not in a selfish way. Because then I got to move into... I love how many say take a bath. Yes, right, Kimmy? Because then you can do something kind for others. Because that's what I want you to consider. The second part to that is, if I do something kind for myself, my cup is overflowing, and now I can do something kind for others. I can't give what I don't have. 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 So I'm going to give you guys a cup of courage. Start your day. Go do something kind for yourself, kind for others. Start with you. And then just see if there's something you can do for someone else. Even if it's the tiniest little thing. And whether they acknowledge it or not. Do not look or wait for acknowledgement of others to do kind things. You're doing it because you know that continues that ripple effect out in the universe. It's okay. Got to count you guys out with love. Here we go. 5, I love you, I love you. 4, I love you, I love you. 3, I love you, I love you. 2, I love you, I love you. 1, I love you, I love you. I love you, Hannah Isms. I can't give what I don't have. Exactly. All right, everybody. Have a good morning. Good morning. Good morning.